There is no better feeling than loving a group under the same name. From the Straw Hats in One Piece, who are like a true family, to the Akatsuki in Naruto, whose striking aesthetics perfectly complements the darkness of their cause. The Phantom Troop with the coolest introduction to date, and let's not forget the all-time great Ginyu Force. I would be the first man in the world to list every bad thing of Fairy Tail, but one thing I would never do is bash the Fairy Tail Guild. Nowadays, these kinds of group, guilds, or even organizations are very scarce. Around 2015, the landscape of anime shifted, with tightly knit groups becoming less common. Yes, there are still groups in anime, I'm not debating that. What I'm debating is how the interaction in groups are handled. Most guilds these days are given the NPC treatment, like My Hero Academia's 1A. Even Blue Lock or sports anime is about individual dominance rather than a collective effort. It sucks to see this when you have felt what every Karasuno member of Haikyuu made you feel. The main cast is what makes you watch a franchise, but it's the side characters that make you stay. This season, I was pleasantly surprised by seeing that collective writing have a semi-content. The shows I'm talking about are Windbreaker and Kaiju No. 8. In Windbreaker, Sakura, the main character, joins a gang known as Fury. Their one objective is to protect the citizens and maintain peace. Thus, they beat anyone that affects said peace. The show has some of anime's finest fight choreographies, and every hand-to-hand clash is a visual feast. It showcases both beauty and brutality, a recipe to keep you on the edge of your seat. The fights are the main attraction, and I also like Sakura as a character. He is strong-willed, always firm on his beliefs, and facing adversity head-on. The author pulled off a fun protagonist, and the gang has diversity. Each character introduced has their own color, and it's interesting to see how each color blends with the other. I particularly didn't like Choji just because I have seen his archetype many times. The I am strong and now I have no motivation trope. It's much fun to see characters understanding the concept of being free rather than searching for peace. This is why Ume-chan is much better than Choji. Other than that, I have no qualms about the show. I hope in future episodes, there are not many one-dimensional characters like Choji just because that's how Tokyo Revengers fell off. Those characters are a sign of unrealism in writing. In the coming episodes, I am interested to see the other gangs. I like the class of themes that each gang seems to carry behind their back. And let's not forget to see the ascent of the top dog. Kaiju No. 8 is another anime of the season with a fun group as well. The Defense Force is an organization that has the responsibility of defeating kaijus who have been ravaging the world for decades. Kafka always dreamed of joining the force to eradicate the kaijus from the world. You might question how he plans to do so. Well, he transforms into a kaiju himself. A very original idea, I must say. Nonetheless, he is likable from the jump because he is a character representing failure. He never accomplished what he planned to do. However, opportunities are given to those who never give up. He turns into a kaiju and protects anyone before his eyes. Every episode ended with a cliffhanger, and as an impatient guy, I started to read the manga. What was unexpected was to love the Defense Force in general. I just thought of it as the next survey corps of AOT. I initially expected them to be tools for exposition and power scaling, but the prominent members surprised me with their depth. The show makes you root for the side characters as they are realistic and play their role perfectly. The childhood dynamic is great because it lets Kafka chase after a goal. What motivates people is strength, and that's what Mina is to Kafka. Someone to root for, and someone to chase after when all the doors are closed. He is the 8th kaiju, and there are many more left to be discovered. Watching these two shows reminded me of the old classics with a great guild construction. In this video, I want to talk about two animes with an underrated group or guild. The first one is Accel 1. Do you know that the Accel World author also wrote Sword Art Online? I will never forget the anime community who gave so much attention to SAO when there is a better alternative written by the same author. The two franchises have similar premises, a modern technologically advanced world where you virtually dive into a digital world. What separates Accel World is Burst, a feature that lets player bend time itself in the real world. It's a show about trusting their guild members and reaching the final level of the game, creating guilds and conquering territories. Accel World has one of my favorite couples of all time because of their chemistry and love for each other. Not only that, the guild members are well written too. After season 1, you fall for each member, and that's the main charm of the show. Accel World doesn't have a certain polish that most modern animes have, but each cast is lovable like no other. The last underrated anime group that I want to end the video on is Sakurasou. I will say it here. Mashiro and Sorata are my favorite couple in all of anime. Mashiro's slice of life skills are below average. Her mind can only draw and eat donuts. Other than that, she requires help for everything. Sorata is her saving grace, helping her with each task. They find themselves in a dorm known as Sakurasou, containing problem children from the school. You know, the typical hacker, the genius, the ikemen, the kudre, and the pet owner. Very diverse group of people, and let me tell you that everyone in there are one of the most lovable characters I have ever seen in a show. Beneath its surface of light-hearted fun, Sakurasou tackles the relatable issues of anxieties and jealousies, always failing in relationships, not being able to match their peers' talents, the envy and jealousy you get looking at raw talent, and last but not least, not understanding yourself. How Sakurasou tackles those problems is very fascinating. I hope you guys are motivated to give Sakurasou and Accel World a try. I have wanted to talk about them for a while, and I'm glad I did it here. Back in the day, Sakurasou and Accel World were popular, but nowadays I rarely see anyone talking about them. I'm happy to talk about old animes, and it was perfect timing because Windbreaker and Kaiju No. 8 reminded me of a dynamic, lovable group we saw all the time. Tell me about your favorite groups in the comments below, and until next time, meet you in the dungeons of anime.